The Amex Gold Card. This is the most popular credit card in the world, but with each new update, it seems that it's getting worse and worse and worse. But because this card is so popular, it has so many diehard fans, and they'll defend it no matter what changes are made to it. And today, I'm going to give you a completely unbiased review and helping you decide if the Amex Gold Card is worth it for you or not. So let's start off by going over what this card actually gives you. Right now, they have one of the best welcome offers that I've ever seen, which is 90,000 points. And this welcome offer alone is going to be worth from 1 to 3,000 depending on how you use it. You're going to get 4 points back on restaurants and dining, and then 4 points at supermarkets, as well as 1 point back on everything else. Food is usually tied for people's second biggest spending category, so this card takes care of all your food needs for you. A lot of other cards will give you cash back or points back on food purchases, but it's only restaurants and they leave out grocery stores or vice versa. But with this card, you're literally going to get every single food purchase covered. So a lot of times credit cards with annual fees are pretty much like the sprinkles on top of ice cream. At first they look amazing and way better than everything else, but then you realize that they cost extra and start to wonder if that cherry on top is really going to be worth it. But instead of a cherry being put on this card, it's more like you're getting a $250 truffle put on top of it. Now there's a couple ways to justify this $250 annual fee, and I'm going to show you how to. The biggest way is the 2 statement credits that come in with this card. So you're going to get $240 total worth of statement credits, effectively bringing that annual fee down to $10. The first is for Grubhub, and then the second is for Uber Cash. And they're also going to throw in 4 points back for all your Uber purchases too. So for the Grubhub purchases, all you have to do is go on the Grubhub app and then put in an order for pickup, and you can do the same thing with Uber Eats too. And most people eat out at least twice a month, so you're going to get some really easy value from these statement credits. And if you want to use those dining credits for something instead of Grubhub, you can use them at Cheesecake Factory, Goldbelly, Wine.com, Milk Bar, and then Shake Shack locations too. But in the last 2 years, I think I've only been to one of those once, which is Cheesecake Factory, and I'm certainly not eating there every month. So Grubhub is going to be the easiest way you can use these statement credits. So after you understand this, it seems like everything's fine, and these statement credits have come in and saved the day. But these statement credits aren't as good as you might first think, and I'll explain why in a couple minutes. First, let's talk about why people like this card so much, because there's a lot of different food cards, and there's a reason why so many people are choosing and sticking with this card despite the annual fee. The first is their customer service. Now it's becoming more and more obvious throughout the years that banks are not your friend. But a lot of people seem to think that Amex is the one exception to that. If you go online, you can find a bunch of different stories of Amex helping people out when they really didn't have to, but I still wouldn't think of Amex as your friend. More is the best option amongst a lot of bad ones. The second reason why is because of how easy it is to use it overseas. The transfer partners for this card are insane, and there's also never going to be any foreign transaction fees. And another reason why people like this so much is because of the card design itself. It's one of the cleanest card designs. You can get in gold or rose gold, and it's also a metal card, which makes it way cooler. Now let me explain to you why I have some doubts about this card and why it might not be as good as everyone's making it out to seem. So a study last year showed that almost half of the households have visited Costco at least once. And most people spend around $100 per visit. And for me personally, Costco is definitely my go-to place because you can save a lot of money by buying food in bulk. And they also have some of the best, healthiest options too. Now how this relates to the American Express Gold Card is Costco has an exclusive contract with Visa, so they don't accept anything else besides Visa cards, which means that they're not going to accept any American Express cards. So if you shop at Costco a lot like me, you're not going to be able to use this 4% back at grocery stores because you can't use it to purchase stuff at Costco. Now my next problem is that $240 statement credit doesn't really equal $240, because when you get something through Grubhub or through Uber Eats, it's usually marked up at least 20%. So for example, my Chipotle bowl is usually $9.87, but when I pick it up through Grubhub, it's $10.51. And then for Uber Eats, it's $13.91. So quite a bit more if I was just to pay with cash or a debit card, or go through their website or app to pick it up. And a lot of time people just forget to use the statement credit. Now if you Uber a lot, which I don't, you're going to get $120 worth of value, but you're not if you're going to go through Uber Eats. And the next reason is a lot of people just forget to use these statement credits. It's easy to just get in the habit of not using them because after you already paid the annual fee, a lot of times you just forget about it. And this isn't necessarily a problem with the card and more the user of the card, but it's still something to keep in mind. So the next most logical question that you're probably going to ask yourself is why are influencers pushing this card so much if it's not necessarily worth it? And that's because American Express has a really good affiliate program. So whenever they make a video about the card and someone uses their link, they get a lot of money or extra points added to their account. A lot of big influencers have even publicly said that they don't know if the card would be worth it for them if they weren't getting these affiliate offers. But if you ask me, this card's still worth getting because you can hit that sign-up bonus and get a couple $1,000s worth of value, which is obviously going to outweigh the annual fee, and then later downgrade it to a no annual fee card from American Express. You can downgrade it to a card like the Cash Blue Everyday card, which is still an amazing card, and you'll still get 3% back on groceries, as well as 3% on gas, and 3% on US online purchases. So you could even get even more value from this no annual fee card after you hit that sign-up bonus than you would with the gold card. But keep in mind that you're only going to get a sign-up bonus for the Amex Gold Card or any of the Amex cards once per lifetime, so you can't get that gold card, hit the sign-up bonus, downgrade it, and then get another one a couple years later like you could with the Chase Sapphire Preferred. One thing to keep in mind is they have really, really good transfer partners. If you don't know what this means, they have airline and hotel companies that they partner with that'll make your points a lot more valuable. Also, 9 times out of 10, they're going to give you a retention offer, meaning if you try to cancel this card and you call them up and tell them you want to cancel, then most times they'll waive the annual fee for you, or they'll give you enough points to offset the annual fee. So this is definitely a no-brainer card for the first year because of how much value you're getting from the sign-up bonus, but then it starts to become questionable in year 2 and 3. And this is still a card that you can definitely make work, but you're just going to have to squeeze the lemon a little bit more with this. And what I mean by that is make sure you're using the dining credits every single month to get as much value as you can from this card. If you decide this card isn't for you, I'm going to be making a video soon talking about the best alternatives to this card, so make sure you subscribe for that. Let me know what experiences you've had with American Express and if you think the gold card's worth it for you.